Hey y'all, how's it going? Well, welcome to part 3 of transitioning our house to more of a farmhouse appeal. In this first part of the video, we are having to take down our curtains and move the cushions in our dinette area around our dining room table. We don't have a formal dining room, it's just a very open floor plan and not a real large house. But anyway, let's roll it on that part. So we need a marker.
You'll do it with any pen.
The hole. Be all right.
Yeah. So where are you going to start?
Well, over here. So good. Look at the difference it's gonna make in there.
Yep.
And see if you have the gray painted up top in that little section, I think it's just gonna tie everything together.
Yep.
I really like the curtain rods that I was able to find for a bay window that was so uniquely made. The little ball in the center it bends whatever angle your bay window is. So that worked out great. But we had to hang them before I could finish making the tab curtains because I had to measure exactly the length. Okay. This is curtain one. Careful.
You be careful. You talk to him first.
Have you already done the second coat back there?
No.
Okay, well, this is part of the transition too that was kind of a surprise. I had seen a picture it was either a magazine or a video of a farmhouse interior, and one of the things they had done, they had trim similar to what we have, and they had painted the section in between the trim. They were using kind of greens, but anyway, a light green. So I was talking to Randy about it. I said, what do you think about putting that frappe color in between, which is what he's doing now, because right here at this hall and right over here at our entry, we have the frappe. And this thing, stripes or whatever, the trim goes all the way around this living room and this hall. It's not in the kitchen. So we have some nice starts and stops to do that. But he had to rig something special to stand on over the stairwell. Now in this next section of the video, you're going to see me show myself. I was frustrated, and you're gonna see that I was very frustrated, and I kind of took it out on Randy, but I did apologize later. So here we are in all our glory. Well, it is now time to finish up this space. Randy has painted the frappe color above the trim. He's gone probably a good half all the way around the room, so not long on getting that finished. But this section back here is dry, so now I need to hang my curtain. And you know, all of this is saying transitioning to more of a farmhouse. Well, I guess it is transitioning to more farmhouse, but still I consider our home a country French, and we're probably turning it more into a true country French by using lighter colors everywhere. So behind here on that little piece that I have up on the wall. It's out from the wall about 5-6 inches. That was fun to figure out how to get that up there years ago. I'm going to use the same fabric that is across the way here in our dinette area. And this is it. It looks like trees, but they're directional. So I had to get a lot of yards for this. And I had to seam it in the middle so that on this side and that side, the trees would be going upwards. It would look really weird to have trees going up and then trees going down. I have not hemmed the edges, so I'm hoping that I can hide that, and it's kind of the puddle on the floor kind of thing like we had done before. So I'm a little apprehensive to get up on this contraption that Randy's made, but I'll make sure he's right here nearby and I'll get her done. So here we go. I don't know if I can do this.
You're not waiting.
I'm not getting up there. It's scary. And my knees are so bad that I'm afraid I'm going to fall if I get up there. You may have to do it. I may have to just tell you how. I might be able to work it with my, I don't know. I'm scared to get up there. Maybe if you stood back there and held my hand to help me up and down, I might be able to do it. But I have nothing to grab. I'm not big enough to steady myself. Can you try to see if you can get it in there? How about a 5-gallon bucket? I really don't want to get up on that thing. It's too unstable. I'm too unstable. I'd have jumped up there 12, 15 years ago, but I don't like heights. And looking down that stairwell, that's a long way down. I'd break something. Something important.
How's that?
I don't know, we'll see.
Well, what do you want to see? I'm gonna get up there because you can't do both ends.
Okay.
Just
Well,
saying.
hey, you might want to move that to a different location. Where I've got my hands right here is the same, so it's got to go right in the center.
In the center. This is the center.
Yeah, switch it around. You know how we have to work it. You have to get the thing, it's going all the way down the hole. Okay, now I'll kind of show you. This back piece, is going to stay straight. The front piece is what we need to pull. down. But you have to start in the middle,
I'm just trying to find the front.
and we don't wanna see that part, so it's got to be rolled. Boy, this is so frustrating. You gotta start in the middle.
I am in the middle.
No, you got to start up here.
But you've got a bar that goes across.
Honey,
You have to pull it down on each side.
Yes, you have to start
Well,
there.
Well, it's easy to be frustrated with somebody when you can't get to it, isn't it?
Yes. Okay, I don't want this part to.
I hope you're videoing this.
I am. But see how that shows? That's not supposed to be
Well,
there.
I can fix that. It's just a
It
touch.
needs to be rolled.
I don't understand your rolling business.
Here's the piece of fabric. This inside top edge needs to be rolled, and where it's, the back is at the back and this side's at the bottom, but rolled. It's all twisted. Pick the whole thing, if you'll pick the whole thing up,
I'm listening.
if you'll pick the whole thing up from that loop, you should be able to straighten it out.
Here, up. Where do I pick up at?
Like that, but right in this spot right here, pick the whole thing up, straighten. Extremely frustrating because if I could get up here, I would have it done in like a minute.
You could get up here. Okay, everything's wound in the back. It should have been wound this way before it was up.
No, you're doing it backwards. This is the front side. Now you've got the back side
Well,
showing.
why didn't you?
You rolled it the wrong way.
It's all twisted up. You handed it to me twisted up. Why didn't
Okay,
you
but
just?
you just fix it. Just roll it the other way. See, this is called outside, the right side.
Yeah, well, I need to start here.
This is the right
I
side.
need to find the outside.
Okay, there we go. Now you're rolling it the right way.
You just handed it to me all cattywampus. All twisted up already.
Okay. So we're starting over. All right, now
Now what? Pull
you
here?
do your side. Pull. Okay, but you gotta keep this back. You gotta keep this piece straight. Only the, right. So the loop is being pulled from the underneath side. Don't like the way that's folding. I'll have to get back and look at it to see. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get comfortable. It's very awkward up here. For somebody that's 6'2". And 5 foot space.
Well, you can get down. I think we can fix it from here.
Like,
Please come down the normal way.
Well, that would be jump. That's normal.
Why this isn't laying flat. The other side lays flat, but this side doesn't want to. Why is it doing that?
Feel for me, guys. Feel for me.
Over there it's laying flat, but here it's not. This was your side.
Of course.
How's that look?
It's good for my house.
What?
It looks good for my house.
Good from your house? What's that mean?
I'm living right here. Looks good.
You put yourself a timeout on the back porch? What can I say? We all have our days. In the midst of doing the curtains, I was also working on reupholstering the cushions that I had made for the dinette area. Probably, well, it was when we moved in, I made them, so that would have been 2003, so 16 years ago. So I thought that I would take a few clips making the very last cushion just to show you what all it entails. I'm on my last cushion and I am so excited for that. 12 cushions total. And they haven't been real easy to do because every one of them has an angle. These are like the back pieces, and like this has an angle toward the center. This is the end, so it's straight. But a lot of them had angles both ways. Then on the bottom seats, they would angle this way and all different things. So it hasn't been super easy to do. So I bought 2 rolls, 50-yard rolls of this cording, 1/4-inch cording, and I'm now opening my second 50-yard roll. So the first thing I'm going to do is make enough cording for this whole thing. This is what I had left. So I need to continue to add. I guesstimated pretty accurately on this stuff too. Thankfully, I'm going to have plenty. And I like it because also because it has a design, so it makes it really easy for me to follow and cut. Now, normally when you're making cording, you want to cut it on the bias, which means like this. And the reason you want to usually cut it on the bias is so that it will lay really well, because on the bias, your material has stretch. And if you just cut it straight, it doesn't have as much stretch. No stretch. But this has worked really well. I wasn't going to buy tons and tons of yardage in order to cut it on the bias, because I had guesstimated I was going to need about 60 yards. Anyway, I'm cutting 2-inch strips and using my little rotary here. My blade is getting dull because I've had to cut so much stuff. But I've ordered more because I have more projects coming up after the new year. Let's see if I've got to cut any more. That's gonna do that side. wrong side there. And another side, and an end, and an end. And then the bottom, which is actually bigger, longer. So that side, and how perfect is that? I just needed one. Hoorah! I have my zipper foot in. Got a good amount of bobbin thread, but I need to move my zipper foot to make the cording. I need to move it where the needle is on the right. So I loosen that. Tighten it up real well. Now the first thing I have to do is sew these pieces together. And here's a little trick. Oh, my pins are upstairs. Yeah, I have to go back up. Here I have a few. When you're sewing strips of cording together, you want to reduce as much bulk as possible. So if you were to sew it like this, straight stitch here, then you'd have a lot of bulk because your seam, when you folded it, would be folded over on itself, and that would create more bulk. So instead of doing that, what I do, see, here's the inside. I want to fold it this way. So this is considered the wrong side of the fabric. This is the right side of the fabric. Right sides to right sides together. Don't really have to pin it, but I'm pinning it to show you. And I'm going to sew from corner to corner. Go backwards to lock your stitch first, and then forward. Back to lock. All right, I'm going to trim this seam. Okay, now when I open it out, and I open out the seam, tricky to get it open here. Anyway, with it being on the diagonal like that, when you fold it, you're going to have part of your seam here and part of your seam over here, and that reduces the bulk. So let's get 4 yards of cording sewn. I'll go ahead and sew almost to the end here. Now, when I was doing all this cording, I would not cut the cording. I would leave my roll, and I would just sew and leave a little extra at the end of the material so that I could attach another piece another time. I didn't sew 50 yards all at once. I kind of just sewed as I needed it. So now I'm just going to tuck this in there. so that it exactly lines up. All right, now we can rock and roll. All right, I know I measured correctly, but just in case I was wrong, I am not going to cut my cording, and I'm going to leave this little tail here in case I have to cut some more strips and sew them together. Next step, okie dokie. I'm turning it over on the back side. Don't intend to save this material. I did not do zippers in these, and I'm not doing zippers in them this time either. Now back when I made these the first time, oh, let's see, we moved in 2003, so that's when it was. I had bought a cheap foam cutter, and it didn't work very well to cut all these big old pieces of foam. So I ended up just heating a long knife on my gas stove and then coming in and sawing at it. So you can see it's not very good. But by the time you get it covered, it doesn't show and it works just fine. So the first thing I have to do is take one of my pieces, make sure these are the same length. Yeah, I cut them the same. The reason I'm checking that is because this top side is shorter than the back side because of this angle here. Now I have to make sure that I've got where I'm at the bottom. So this is the bottom edge because I know it goes like this. And on some of these, I was getting really close on material. I did not give myself a whole lot of seam allowance. That's not going to work. It's very tight. That we'll just have to do. So the way I do it, which I don't know if it's the professional way or not, but it's how I do it. And I am left-handed, so it's probably all going to look backwards to most of you folks. So I start right here on the bottom, somewhere around the middle, and I see where my fold is on the edge. And I pin. When I get to the corner, I come under here and I mark through the fabric exactly where my corner is. Then I put my finger there and I pin right there. So I know that is the corner. Now to turn the corner and make it smooth, if you were to just turn, see how that bulks up. So what I do is I trim just the cording. So right there's my corner. So I'm going to come in front of it and a little behind it. And now, when I hold the fabric and I turn, see, it makes a very nice corner. All right, I'm back around where I started. So what I do is I come about an inch and a half or so past and make a cut. Better scissors for this part. And then I open it up and undo that seam. There it is, it's on the inside. And I just pull, take a little more off. All right, that's enough. So I'm going to open that back and I'm going to line this up, and I want to trim right where the end of this is so that they butt each other. You don't want a gap. You also don't want too much because then it would be bulky. So see, they exactly line up. So now I'll take that pin out. I'm going to fold this back like this, lift up, down, make sure it's nice and tight, and pin.
I'm staying close to the mirror. A lock of gold, a secret smile, little things I remember. Place a hand upon my heart as her, she was a believer. Sometimes I can feel her arms holding me as forever. Shoulder, a lock of gold, a secret smile. I will tell you when you get older. I place a hand upon your heart. Every beat is taking me over, and I will hold you in my arms. Pretend we'll stay here forever. Time changes.
There. So, I've turned it. This is that end. So what I do is I start with the hardest end, and the angled end is the hardest end. It's like putting on socks or something on a unruly child. right, a little hand sewing, and the last cushion will be done. Come here, come here. Well, the maximum I could do of cushions in a day was about 2. It does take quite a while, and then you've got the hand sewing. Randy took a couple pictures of me unknowingly early in the morning in my robe, and I was hand sewing some of the cushions here by the fireplace in this little old rocker. He said I looked like Mrs. Claus. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned because next up, Christmas decorations. I'm going to be doing my tree first, and it's going to be quite different than last year, so I think you'll be interested to see what I'm doing on my tree this year. So stay tuned. Thanks, Cooper. Say bye. Have a good one.